Home security and automation systems are keeping our families' homes and safe in new ways.
Summer is always a busy moving season, so it's the perfect time to get advice from a professional.
It sure is. National Family Safety expert Allison Jacobson, aka the Safety Mom, is here to talk about things we can use, technology, to keep our families safe, particularly during a move. Good to see you, Allison. Thanks for coming in today.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
So, some of the things that you recommend when people are planning a move, a lot of it's that kind of that time of year, the spring. People are packing up, purchasing new homes. They're moving. What are some safety things to think about?
Well, I moved last year myself, just around this time. And, you know, the biggest thing is really understanding your neighborhood, right? We want to move into a neighborhood that's not only safe, but the kids love and everything. So first I would recommend drive around. Get to know the area at different times of the day. And now there's actually cool apps called Nextdoor app is one where you can go on, check out what's going on in the neighborhood, see if it's friendly, see if the person next door throws wild parties till 2 in the morning and has a drum set in the garage.
Because you'll find that out on Nextdoor.
You will. You'll find that out. Or when you move in and it's the crazy neighborhood with all the Christmas lights and it's like everybody's driving through. So important to check out what the neighborhood's like. And then, you know, something people don't think about. You're going to maybe have contractors walking in. You're going to have real estate people. You've got other people. Change the locks. Change the locks, super important.
People don't think about that enough. I mean, even when you're renting
and
everything, you really should change your own locks if you get permission, because it's kind of scary to think about how many people have had those keys.
Exactly, and what's nice is, you know, when you're moving in, think about all the scenarios you're going to have, right, throughout the year. Like, you want to make sure that your alarms are on, you want to make sure that your windows are protected. So I got Cox Homelife when I moved into my house because I've got my aunt living with me, my elderly mom living with me, my son. So I was able to put in everything all at once. I put in door alarms so that when, you know, somebody goes in or out, I'll get a text. I put on chimes on the different doors and windows, so when my son opens it, I'll know if he's going in or out. I have automated lights. I also put lights on the driveway for motion, so if somebody's coming in a long driveway and it's dark, I'll know. So it's all of those things you want to think about before you move in, which makes it super easy.
Okay, and then once you move, you decide on that location. Then what are some things you think about? And I know you mentioned Cox Homelife, and that's kind of the whole package, because there's a lot of separate systems out there, and you start piecemealing things together, and it's not all tied into one network.
Exactly, and what's nice about the Cox one is you can have somebody come out and say, look, I have a baby, I've got a babysitter in all day long, or I have a pet, and they can tell you, well, you know, you might want to think about putting a cam here. So, you know, if you're at work, you can see what's going on. Or did you know, if your child's getting off the bus down the street, you can get a text alert when they walk in. So what's nice about Cox is it's all in one, the Homelife. You don't have to worry about anything, easy to install. You can see even if people are leaving packages at your door.
Well, just like this picture right here, you can see your kid walking in, there's a package being delivered.
Exactly, exactly, because if you're living in a rural neighborhood like me and you don't have a lot of people around your neighborhood, somebody's dropping off packages, you really want to know. So what's nice is, like you said, it's not piecemeal, it's everything in one.
You know what I like about that package thing is I've had boxes stolen from my step. And if you can see that, you can see if someone's, you know, taking things from your step, if you're in a busy neighborhood or in a housing complex.
Well, and here's a new scam, actually. People steal your ID, they have your account number, and they will actually have packages left at your door for them, and then all of a sudden somebody follows that FedEx truck and picks up the packages meant for them from your door. If you've got a kid in the house, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, yes, it is. And you know, there's so many different safety things we need to think about, particularly when it comes to home automation, but not just when you're moving, not when you're moving into a new house. It's good for people for an existing house, if you've never put anything in any of those, whether it's cameras or the door chimes.
Exactly.
It's good for existing homes too.
Well, especially when you're coming home late at night. I mean, I work late. Now it's great because it's light outside, but in the winter time, you know, you really want to make sure everybody in your house is safe all around your time. So yeah.
Do you have any more tips for us?
You know, I do, and I think one of the things that we're not thinking about is how to protect our kids at home and us. Make sure you've got your router and your Wi-Fi password protected, because right now it's easy for people to drive by, get your password, get onto your Wi-Fi, and actually steal all of your identity.
Are people still, I'm sorry, are people still not using passwords on their Wi-Fi networks now?
You would be surprised. If you actually drive around a neighborhood and just put up your phone, there are so many open Wi-Fi, and you're right. I mean, that can be used for anything, stealing financial information. So make sure you're locking it down, not just for your kids, but you're right, for you.
Yeah, well, I feel like I was doing news stories 15 years ago. Hey, lock down your Wi-Fi networks, right? It seems but still people don't do it.
Hello, we're still telling people not to post pictures of themselves online that they don't want to know. And look at what just happened. 10 kids got kicked out of Harvard because of it. We're still not learning this. So it's always important to recommend things like that and keep these things in mind.
Right. Yeah. Another thing that I try to do now is not post when you're out of town either.
Absolutely.
People do that. My parents do that, and I was like, Dad, you need to stop doing that because
you're on the beach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, we're
in Cancun
out
for
of the
week.
country.
Yeah.
Right. Well, keep in mind with summer coming up too, and your kids are posting, and all of a sudden they realize mom and dad aren't home, and 50 kids are showing up at the doorstep for a party. Now, your kid may not have wanted it, but another thing that's great about Cox, every time the door opens, you'll get an alert. So, why is the door opening 25 times at 9 o'clock at night? So, really important things to keep in mind for whatever season of the year it is.
Well, my kids aren't pulling anything over on me, I'll tell you that. Cox.com/homelife. You can visit just go to one of the Cox Solution stores. You can go, or go to safetymom.com if you want to get some of the great tips that you've talked about today, plus more. Allison, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it. Hey, you betcha. We'll be right back.